Greetings, wonderful well-beings. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Key, and how to stop absorbing people's fears, people's negative energy, people's negative emotions. So this is something that came up for me yesterday, right? Because since I've been here in Hawaii, I've been meeting a lot of different people. It's been really cool, actually. I've been meeting all type of people: foreigners, Germany, France, Costa Rica, Switzerland, all over the world, right? And all over the United States, you know, different, just a whole bunch of different people, all here, you know, even the people of Hawaii, you know, really talking to a lot of different people, right? And one thing that's been happening lately that, and I even said it in one of my videos about, you know, facing fears and things, and you know, like, and I said it a little bit in that video, like how to transmute energy when you're starting to feel negative thoughts about someone. Yeah. So, but this goes a little bit deeper, because I realized after having just more conversation with people, everybody has a different perspective. A lot of people have different perspectives, right? A lot of people have fears that they're living in their life. They're living their fears. So they could start talking to you, you know, and you know, with being open and, you know, just being an authentic person, start to open up on their fears and start to kind of tell you things. And sometimes it's real direct. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's almost like a warning of the type of way people talk. And sometimes it's just them just talking, but you sense their fears and what they're afraid of by them talking. So this has been happening lately, where I'm talking to people and they're telling me their fears, especially about the island, you know, and I'm coming in and I'm new, and they're like, I know, you know, it's kind of like a caring thing, like they're trying to give me some advice type thing, but they're talking about their experience, and that's one thing. It's their experience. It's their experience, not my experience. That's what we have to separate ourselves when it comes to being, you know, especially if you're an empath and you feel energies real heavy. And for a long time I did that. I allowed the environment to affect my energy, like people's emotions, especially talking to me, and especially, you know, when people are down and, you know, going through a hard time and they just want to talk. It was a hard thing for me to like sit there and listen to them, because I would take on their energy. I would start feeling the way they felt, and I would take on their fear. I would take on their energy. So it's been happening here lately too, and I'm just more aware. I'm just at this level where I'm like, this ain't it. I gotta figure it out, right? So I just like I said, I've been talking to people, and it's like projecting their fears onto, you know, their experience here in the island, you know. But I'm like, since I've been here, I love it, you know. And like I said, when a person sits there and talks to you, might give you advice or something, or tell you about a place, you can't take that personal. You can't be like, oh, they said that this place was not a good place, or don't go here, don't mess with these people. And then most people excuse me, most people absorb it. Most people are like, oh yeah, they're right. You know, most people take on other people's fears, like, oh, they had this experience, so I'm not gonna do that because that happened to them, type thing. That's been happening a lot here, me talking to people. And it's like, it's very interesting. But I'm aware, like, that's your experience, that's your fears, that's not my fears. And even too, sometimes I gotta, you know, be aware when I'm speaking, because I did it. Since I've been here, I've been making YouTube videos. You gotta be aware when you listen to somebody and when you're talking, that the fears that they're projecting that are not yours. So don't take everything that somebody say as the pillar of how you should live your life. It's all about how you want to live your life. If you want to experience that experience and you feel like you feel good about it, do it, and no matter what somebody has told you about it, or you know what, you know, it's all about you experiencing your experience. So I read it in this book. I forgot what book it was, but it pretty much explained it like a girl, she had a professor, and she really didn't like her college professor and all that. She had a lot of shit to say about him and all that. And then she told her friend about the professor, right? Like, oh, he sucks, whatever. So, and she got his class. So the girl came into the class not even knowing this man, not even knowing this professor, but because of what her friend told her, she had all these negative thoughts already, and she projected it onto him. So she didn't give the man a chance. She didn't give the man she didn't give the professor or the experience a chance, because somebody already had implanted in her mind what it was gonna be already, you know. And that's absorbing people's fears. That's making somebody else experience yours by believing, by making their fears yours, pretty much. And yeah, and I felt like I needed some more advice on this. I felt like I really needed like to find out more ways of how not to absorb people's fears and negative emotions. So I went to YouTube last night. I got a list, and I wrote a couple things out that really make sense of, you know, how to better I don't want to say separate, but how to better not absorb people's fears, like I said, because we're all one, right? But everybody has different fears, and everybody has different experiences, so everybody has different perspectives, and just because that's their perspective don't mean that got to be your perspective, you know. So there's some things that I wrote down. So some ways to not absorb people's negative emotions. If you know, first of all, don't be some people think that it's being a good person, it's being a nice person, it's being the person that you're supposed to be in life by letting people dump all their shit onto you, by letting people just say a bunch of negative stuff, talk about their day, talk about their life, just spill it onto you, just tell you all this shit all the time. Every time y'all talking something negative, oh man, let me tell you about this. Like, damn, no, that's not it. That ain't it. And you gotta watch yourself if you're doing that too. It's like you're creating your reality with what you're saying, and if you're absorbing that person's energy, you gonna be feeling down too. I know you trying to be a good person. I know you want to be a good person, but that's the thing too about putting yourself first. That's real love, when you put yourself first. And I've been thinking about this when they talk about responsibility as an adult, because man, it's just shit is kind of confusing out here when they talk about what an adult is and what responsibility is. Responsibility is to yourself. When you become an adult, you're not a child anymore. You've grown up. Now you have the responsibility of your life. You are the authority of your life now. So it's your responsibility to lead your life the way you want to live it, and that means not putting up with shit that you don't want to put up with. Forget all these labels like, oh, that just makes me a good person. I'm just a good person. I just have a good heart. I just listen to everybody's bullshit and listen to everybody all this negative shit they got to say, gossip or about their life with bad things that's going on. Like, that shit is, first of all, if they're an adult, you got to be real. If they're an adult too, they need to have responsibility over their life. They need to turn to their inner self to gain some responsibility over their lives, gain some accountability, and not be dumping all their shit on people. Like, and then it could be a form of manipulation too, if you're allowing people to do it because you want to get something from them. You know, some people are that person for people because they want something out of people. Like, all right, I'll be the person you call and talk to, and you can tell me all your shit, but can I borrow that $100? You know, like, some people just do that shit for something in return. And then some people just do it because they feel like it's what a good person should do. It's what a nice person should do. I'm just a good-hearted person. Loving yourself first is what you should do as a responsible adult. I ain't gonna tell nobody what to do, but this is just, I'm feeling pretty passionate about this right now. And loving yourself first and putting yourself first and your mental health first. And you can't give from an empty cup if you're depleted. If you're depleted and you're saying you have a good heart, but your heart is really empty, and you're not, that's not love. You're just doing something out of obligation because you feel like that's something we should do. And a lot of us are under that thing of feeling like I gotta be a good boy, good girl, a good person in life. And like I said, when you have your responsibility over yourself, you being a good person in life is being good to yourself, doing what makes you feel good, you know. And it don't feel good to take on people's energy like that, and take on people's fears and negative vibrations, and have to listen to people complain and nag all day. Like, okay, and then there is, you know, having compassion for people. There is definitely, you know, being able to hold space for a person, for them to, you know, discuss some things that are maybe painful for them, and you know, be authentic. And maybe I understand, but we are not, if you're not getting paid for it, like you're not a counselor or a psychologist, like therapist, it's not your job. It's not your job to be responsible for adults. It's not. It's your job to be responsible for yourself. So yeah, and some people just do it to like seek attention. They do it to seek a validation. It's like almost like a way to be loved, especially if you're a person that has been that person for a long time to people. It feels like a way to get love. It's like, okay, I'm needed. They call me and talk to me about their problems. I'm needed, you know. It feels like you need that love and validation, and it feels like you're valued in that area. But there's a line, there's a boundary that needs to be made of, you know, just overdoing it, you know, and giving all your attention to these people, and then you're depleted. You're depleted. You're robbing yourself. You're taking the love from yourself by always trying to constantly be that person for somebody. Yeah, but and it doesn't make you a bad person to put yourself first. It doesn't make you a bad person to be like, look, I ain't got the space to hold for you right now. I'm going through some things myself. I don't have the space to hold for you right now. Now, it's a different thing when it's an exchange of energy. When you're both kind of going back and forth, you know, then it's like an exchange of, it's an equal exchange of energy, you know, instead of somebody just putting it all on you, and now you hang up with them and you like, ugh. And it's crazy because especially if they're telling you something fearful, you're like, yeah, I can't do that because old girl or old boy told me about their experience. I ain't gonna go down there because they told me what happened to them. Like, it's real shit. We be absorbing people's energy and making other people's experiences ours by just listening to them sometimes. Just being aware, man. Just having that awareness and express how you really feel. Back to trying to be that good person. You know, be true to yourself. Do what makes you feel good. Be the author of your life, the authority of your life. What makes you feel good? If it don't make you feel good, you have to speak up. Be like, you know what? This combo right here, I can't. You know, nah, this ain't making me feel too great. But I wish you the best. You know, turn to your inner self. You know, get a little advice, whatever you got to do. But you don't. It's not your responsibility to give your all to somebody. It's not. And that's where I feel like we definitely got it messed up, where we're feeling like we have to be that person to be a good-hearted person. That's not that's not real. That's what we've been told, but that's not the truth. We've been taken away from ourselves, but we don't even have much to give. And then we're all end up nowhere, you know? And I was watching Infinite Waters video, like he said, crabs in a barrel. Everybody's so in an environment just full of emotions. Everybody's taking on everybody's emotions. Somebody had a bad day, you're taking on their emotions, you know? It's really about, it's a sense of, you have to kind of have your emotional boundaries up. It's real. Especially when you're trying to out here being a positive person and looking to elevate mentally and spiritually and all these things, but you keep giving your energy to these negative vibes, these negative people that's always negative, that's not looking for any optimism or not even looking to help themselves. You have to take your attention away from it. You have to take your attention away from it and put your attention more on positive people, more on things that make you feel good, instead of giving your energy to things that make you feel bad. Like, and you feel it. It's your emotional guidance system. Your emotions is your emotional guidance system. It tells you how you feel. When you don't feel good, you know to make that change and express it. Like, this conversation not making me feel good, or even like when somebody is expressing their fear, it make us seem like rude, like we're rude to like say that, like, oh my God, why would you say that? And then a sense too makes you feel like, it almost make you feel like you being arrogant, like for it being like, yeah, that happened to you. That's, like, that happened to you, but that don't mean that happened to me. And then it almost make you feel like a sense, like, this is what I felt this before, like, okay, maybe they're gonna feel like, it's like people be with that watch out energy, like I said, that warning energy, like caution. And then when you don't take their caution or whatever they think you should be looking out for, and they just because they care about you, they telling you this stuff, and you don't take that caution, they like, all right, see what happened to you then. That's not good. They're putting negative energy on you. They're not trying to help you, and they saying they care, but then when you like, nah, I ain't taking that advice, you like, okay then, watch out. Like, that's a spell right there that almost like they're putting on you. Because they're not praying for good, they're praying for bad, that you're gonna have the same situation they had, or because they have those fears. Them not your fears. For real, like, it's interesting out here. And I feel like I said, I feel like listening is okay to a certain extent. For real. And sometimes I feel like I'll just switch it up, even just ease off the emotions and not take things so seriously either. Sometimes you can just transmute that whole little vibe and make light of it. It could be, you can start feeling it, like, this shit heavy. What they telling me, this shit, you feel it in your body, like, this is heavy. To transmute that energy, you could just get back in a light-hearted energy. Just like say something funny, like try to transmute that energy. And I've been that person where somebody tried to do that. Somebody tried to lighten up the energy when I was in a like down mood, and I wasn't fucking going for that shit. And I was just like, it made me feel like, oh, you ain't gonna be down with me. So you just gonna laugh. And it gave me a sense of like entitlements for them to feel like I feel. And if people are doing that, fuck that, bro. Put yourself first. People are trying to make you feel like they feel, and when you don't feel like they feel, you're a bad person. No, that's not true. That's not true. Don't take that. Don't take that on. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Let people deal with their own stuff, and especially if they're trying to make you feel bad for not feeling bad with them, Come on now. Come on. Like, nah. And also, in yourself, just not being so deep. This is something I had to learn in myself too. Just always deep. Always having a, examine every emotion. Really go deep into it. Like, all right, I'm feeling like this. Let me, or I'm thinking these things. Let me analyze it and get deep down into it. And it's like trying to get so deep on every single thought and emotion. Like, no, like let it go. Like, let the thoughts flow. Let them flow. Don't block them. When you stop them and try to hold on and analyze a thought or emotion, you're just blocking it. Just let it flow. Let it go. Let it pass. Let it flow and become back. Feel lighter in yourself. When you start to feel like you're taking things too seriously, just being too deep about things, just gotta lighten up the situation sometimes. You feel me? So that's really it. Yeah, and just be true to yourself. You can't please everybody. Be true to yourself. We're not here to please everybody. That's a misconception that I've had even for a long time, that being a good person is being this way, and I have to, be nice and considerate and make everybody feel good that I'm around. No. If they're not making me feel good, I'm not saying that I'm just gonna not make them feel good too, but look, that don't make me feel good. I can say it. And if they get offended by that, it's like, all right, bro. All right. Like, yeah, alright. That's the people showing you themselves and how they really feel about you, and that you need to distance yourself. And I used to try to do that shit, but you can't save everybody. You can't try to rescue everybody, especially when you're learning and growing on your journey right now, and trying to be a positive person and have a positive outlook on life. You gotta have your boundaries, man. You gotta have your boundaries and speak up, assert yourself. Some people just I had that problem, just very passive, not asserting myself and being like, I gotta go. Wish you the best, like, I don't want to hear it sometimes. Sometimes it make me even like, it might seem discompassionate to be like, I can't even hear it right now, but it's not. It's just the way we've been taught. We feel like that. That's just not true. So, yeah. Everything in moderation. Moderation. It's not, it's not your job. It's not your job to take on people's stuff like that. We already trying to release our own fears, and for people to be adding on to our fears with their fears and adding on to things we already trying to get up off us. All this negative energy and stuff we trying to cleanse, and then somebody else just trying to put theirs on you too. Like, I can't carry it, baby. I can't carry it. I'm telling you now, I can't carry it. Okay, I can't. No, we're not gonna do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Yeah, responsibility, being the authority of your life, being your adult self, and you can't help everybody. They gotta want it. People gotta want it. They gotta want to be more positive. They gotta want happiness. They gotta want it, and you can't even force them. You can't even be like, well, look at this. Well, send them a video, send them a book that you read. If they're not receptive, they're not gonna be receptive to the positivity that you're trying to give them. But oh yeah, they'll be receptive to some gossip or you trying to talk some negative, because they in that energy, so they'll be receptive to that. That's why you gotta put yourself first, and you can't worry about that. You can't worry about how they gonna say themselves and what they gonna do. All you can do is be that light. Be a lighthouse. You're supposed to be a lighthouse. People see you shining. You're not supposed to be going to everybody with a little light lamp and come on, Harriet Tubman. Nah. No, I'm not. Well, y'all get what I'm trying to say. You ain't supposed to be the one trying to save everybody and go grab everybody's hand. No, you're supposed to be the lighthouse, living by example, leading by example. And once you're doing that, people gonna follow. People gonna listen. Once they see you shining and lighting up and all that shit that you tried to tell them before, they finally gonna listen. They're finally gonna listen when you put yourself first and show them what it looked like. They finally gonna be like, oh shit, what you did? I put myself first. Yeah, you should try it. So yeah, that is all, folks. We out here, you dig? You guys already know, we winning wellness. Put your crowns on and keep your crowns on, because we winning, you dig? You guys take care.